Hi, my name is Lily. I recently went through a divorce, and I wanted to share my story. I hope that someone out there who might be facing something similar will feel less alone after reading this. Maybe it will help, or at least give you a little strength or understanding. Let me start from the beginning. When I was just 8 years old, my parents got divorced. My dad was in Army Special Forces, so he was away a lot. He traveled for long periods because of his job, and that put a lot of pressure on my parents' marriage. Over time, they grew apart, and things fell apart between them. After the divorce, my mom married another man. His name was Frank. I moved in with them and lived in their house. At first, everything seemed fine. But after a while, Frank started to show his true nature. He was abusive, both with his words and his actions. What made it even worse was that my mom knew it was happening, but she loved him too much or was too scared to do anything about it. So she acted like nothing was wrong. She ignored the way he treated me and just let it happen. Even though my dad wasn't around much, he still visited when he could. I would spend weekends with him, and during those short visits, he always made me feel special. He treated me like I mattered. But I was afraid to tell him about what was happening at home. I didn't want to make things worse. I stayed quiet about the abuse for a long time. Then something changed. It was near the end of middle school, and I was spending the day at the beach with my dad. I was wearing shorts, and he noticed bruises on my legs. "What's that on your leg?" he asked. I froze for a second and quickly said, "It's nothing. I just got hurt." He looked concerned and said, "That's a really big bruise. How did it happen?" "I don't remember," I whispered. He looked at me closely. "Lily, are you hiding something from me?" I hesitated and then said, "I might have gotten it in gym class." He sighed and said, "You know you can always tell me anything. I might be away a lot, and maybe you're closer to your mom, but my love for you is strong. Nothing will change that." That's when I broke down. "Dad, I'm sorry I didn't say anything sooner. Frank, he's mean. He hits me. Not always, but sometimes. I know I mess up too. Like one day, I left the door open and his dog ran away. He hit me with his belt." My dad's face changed instantly. "And your mom? Where was she?" "She knows. She just looks away and pretends it's not happening." He held my hand and said, "This stops now. You're coming with me. You're going to live with me from now on." That moment changed everything. It was the beginning of a new life for me. "I'm going to have a serious talk with your mother. This stops today," my dad said firmly. He wasn't just saying it. He meant it. Right after that, my dad took action. He went through the legal process and fought to get full custody of me. It wasn't easy, but he never gave up. In the end, he won and I moved in with him. Living with him was a big change, but it was a much safer and happier place for me. Because of his job, he was sometimes busy or away for work. During those times, I stayed at my aunt's house. She lived nearby and was always kind and caring. My mom did say sorry at first. She tried to patch things up and be in my life again. But when she saw that things weren't going her way, she gave up. She cut me off completely. It was painful, but honestly, I had never felt very close to her. I had always felt more connected to my dad. As I got older, I focused on my studies. I had always dreamed of becoming a doctor. That dream kept me going. I worked hard, studied late nights, and didn't give up. I eventually got into medical school and earned my degree. After years of hard work, I became a licensed heart doctor, a cardiologist. My dad and my aunt were so proud of me. They cheered me on at every step and made sure I never felt alone. During that time, they were my whole world. I didn't have a big group of friends. I was never the loud or outgoing type. I mostly kept to myself. But I had two very close friends who stayed by my side. They encouraged me to open up and meet new people, especially once I started working. I slowly began trying to be more social. To my surprise, I got better at it. I began talking more, smiling more, and making new friends. One night, I went to a karaoke bar for my friend's birthday. That wasn't the kind of place I usually went to, but I wanted to celebrate with her. That night changed my life. There was a guy named Adam who needed a partner to sing a duet. My friend saw me looking at him and pushed me to go sing with him. I was nervous, but I agreed. We sang Time of My Life together and had so much fun. We talked after and exchanged phone numbers. Adam and I started dating after that. He worked as a marketing assistant and had a warm and kind personality. My dad met him and liked him right away. Adam gave me love and care I had missed for years. 1 year later, he brought me back to that same karaoke bar and smiled. Lily, I think it's time we start the family we've always talked about. My heart skipped a beat. What do you mean? I asked. There's something I've been wanting to ask you, he said. When Adam got down on one knee and said, "You've brought so much happiness and warmth into my life. I can't imagine spending my life with anyone else. Lily, will you marry me?" My heart melted. I said yes right away, tears in my eyes. It felt like a dream. But I'll be honest with you. While many people might feel okay getting married after a year of dating, it felt a little fast for me. I had been through a lot in my past. I had built emotional walls to protect myself, and even though I loved Adam deeply, I was scared. Part of me worried that if I told him I needed more time, he might not wait for me. So I kept those feelings inside and went along with it. We had a small private wedding. Only a few people were invited. I sent an invitation to my mother, hoping she might come, but she didn't show up. That hurt a little because no matter what, she was still my mom. But I didn't let it ruin the day. My dad was there, and that meant the world to me. He held my hand, smiled proudly, and walked me down the aisle. I was so thankful for him. That day, I officially became Adam's wife. A year later, something even more beautiful happened. We had a baby girl. We named her Laura. I still remember holding her for the first time. After my delivery, the hospital room was filled with balloons, flowers, and happy faces. My dad, Adam, and Adam's parents were all there to welcome our little one. It was a moment I'll never forget. Becoming a mother changed everything. I decided to take time off from work to be with Laura during her early months. Those quiet days at home, rocking her to sleep, watching her smile, hearing her first giggles, I cherish all of it. There's nothing more special than bringing a baby into the world. It really shows how precious life is. While I was home, Adam continued to work. Even with his busy schedule, he made time to be a wonderful dad. He played with Laura, sang to her, and even let her put makeup all over his face just to make her laugh. He was patient, funny, and full of love. Watching him with her made me fall in love with him all over again. But as time passed, it was clear that both of us had to return to work. We needed someone to help care for Laura during the day. After looking into different options, we decided to hire a nanny. Laura was a lively little girl, always moving, always curious, and we wanted someone kind and responsible to look after her while we were away. That's how our next chapter began, with a growing family, new responsibilities, and a home full of love. After some time, I found out I was pregnant again. I was happy and excited, thinking we were about to welcome one more baby into our family. But then something unexpected happened. During a regular checkup, the doctor smiled and said, "You're not just having one baby, you're having twins." I was shocked at first, and so was Adam. We hadn't planned for 2 more babies, but that news filled our hearts with joy. We were nervous, of course, but also very happy. What we didn't know at the time was how much things were going to change between us. Once the twins came into our lives, our relationship slowly began to feel different. One thing that always bothered Adam, even though he never said it out loud, was the fact that I earned more money than he did. I'm a doctor, and he works in marketing, so it just happened that way. I tried not to make a big deal about it, but I could feel that it made him uncomfortable. I noticed it more clearly one evening when our friends Catherine and Tyler came over for dinner. I was in my 3rd trimester at that time with a big baby bump, trying to enjoy the evening. During dinner, Tyler asked us, "So, how are you guys feeling about the twins coming soon?" Adam smiled and said, "Oh, we're excited." A little nervous, but mostly excited. Then Catherine asked, "Have you picked out names yet?" I said, "Yes, we've been thinking about some. We want names that are special, but not too unusual." "Any favorites?" Catherine asked again. We're still deciding, Adam replied. Tyler added, family names can be very meaningful. Absolutely, I said. We've also been looking at strollers that work for twins. It's been a bit much, but we'll manage. Tyler laughed and said, I can only imagine. So much stuff to buy for 2 babies. Adam agreed. Tell me about it. Our checklist is getting longer every day. Then Catherine looked at me and asked, Lily, do you miss work? A little, I said. Being a doctor is hard, but helping people always feels rewarding. Tyler joked, wow, a doctor and a marketing guy. How do you two even find time to make these babies? Catherine laughed and added, Adam, I bet your wife is the one bringing in the big money, huh? That's when Adam looked straight at them and said, without blinking, actually, I make more money than Lily. I was stunned. I just sat there quietly, not believing what I had heard. Why would he lie like that? It hurt me deeply. Later, after our friends had left, we were doing the dishes together in silence. I wanted to ask him why he said that. My heart felt heavy. I didn't care about the money, but honesty meant everything to me. And in that moment, I realized something in our marriage was starting to crack. After thinking about it for days, I finally decided to talk to Adam. I couldn't keep the feelings inside any longer. Adam, can we talk for a moment? I asked gently. Sure, he said. What's on your mind? I need to ask you something. The other night at dinner, you told Catherine and Tyler that you earn more than me. But that's not true, is it? He paused for a second, then looked down and said, No, it's not true. Adam, why would you lie about something like that? I don't know, Lily, he replied. I guess I was just embarrassed. It felt awkward. Embarrassed? I repeated, confused. I had no idea this topic made you feel that way. I'm not sensitive, he said quickly. I'm a man. I'm supposed to be the one in charge. You've never said anything about this before. What's bothering you now? I just don't want people to think I'm a failure, he said. Like I can't take care of my family. Adam, I said, trying to stay calm. If it works for us, that's what matters. Who cares what anyone else thinks? Yeah, whatever, he muttered under his breath. His response left me feeling hurt. It sounded old-fashioned, even a little unfair. What was so wrong with me earning more if our home was full of love, peace, and support? I had never judged Adam for his salary. To me, being a team and raising a happy family meant more than any paycheck. Still, life was busy. I was in the final stretch of my pregnancy, and my hands were full, both physically and emotionally. I decided not to dwell on that conversation too much. 3 months later, the big day arrived. My pregnancy had been difficult, but in the end, it was worth every moment. I gave birth to 2 beautiful baby boys. As I held them in my arms in the hospital bed, I felt my heart fill with love and joy. We named them Carlo and Keith. Holding them, one in each arm, I couldn't stop smiling. Adam leaned over and kissed my forehead. Our family feels complete, he whispered. Baby, you've made me the happiest man in the world. I love you. It wasn't all me, I said, smiling back. Look at them, Laura. Laura, our daughter, looked over with wide eyes. Baby brothers? She asked in wonder. Yes, sweetheart, I said. Do you want to sit next to Mom? Yes, she exclaimed, climbing up carefully. She looked at her new brothers and softly said, Hello, baby brothers. In that moment, I felt like everything in my life had come together. I wanted to be the best mother I could be. I had not received that kind of love from my own mom, and I was determined to give my children what I never had: love, safety, and a happy home. And that was just the beginning. After a few days at the hospital, I finally brought the babies home. The nursery was all set up. We had painted the walls soft colors, filled the shelves with baby supplies, and made sure everything was ready. Adam and I were excited and nervous. For a while, we both took time off work to adjust to our new life with twins and our daughter Laura. Eventually, Adam went back to work. I stayed home to take care of all 3 kids. That's when things started to get really hard. Caring for 2 newborns and a toddler was exhausting. I barely slept. I was either changing diapers, feeding the babies, or trying to keep Laura entertained. Our house was full of love, but it was also full of noise, laundry, and tired parents. On top of that, we were struggling with money. We weren't broke, but things were tight. I had always wanted to give my children the best of everything: good clothes, healthy food, great education, but with only one income, it felt impossible. I had the ability to earn well. I had a solid job and a career with room to grow. But someone needed to stay home with the kids. The real issue was our income difference. Adam made around $50,000 a year, while I earned $200,000. From a practical point of view, it made sense for me to return to work and for him to stay home with the kids. I thought it was a simple solution and hoped we could talk it through calmly. One evening, after dinner, we went to check on the twins in their room. The babies were fast asleep. Laura had already gone to bed. 3 kids, Adam said, smiling. We only planned for 2, but I'm not complaining. They're adorable. They really are, I replied. Hey, I want to talk to you about something. Sure, he said. What's on your mind? I've been thinking about our future and our kids' future too. I know it might sound early, but I want to plan ahead. If we keep saving, we can help them with college and give them better opportunities. Adam nodded. You're right. If I continue working, I said, we'll have more savings. Plus, there's a good chance I'll get a raise in the next few years. That would be amazing, he agreed. But who's going to stay home with the kids? What if you stayed home? Asked gently. You're great with them. His face changed. Are you serious? Yes. It makes sense. I'm the man of the house, he said firmly. Just because you make more money doesn't mean you get to make all the decisions. I was shocked. Adam, can't you see this isn't about control? It's about what's best for all of us. But in that moment, I realized this conversation wasn't going to be easy. I decided to go back to work. I knew it was the right choice for our family, even if Adam didn't agree. But when I told him, his reaction shocked me. Seriously? I said. Is your ego really that weak? Just because you take care of the kids doesn't mean you're less of a man. I thought we were just having a serious talk. But Adam's face turned red with anger. I had never seen him look like that before. Without saying a word, he suddenly raised his hand and slapped me hard across the face. How dare you talk to me like that, he shouted. You're trying to act like you're the boss. Know your place. Just do what you're told and listen to me. Then he stormed out of the room, leaving me in shock. I stood there frozen, my cheek burning, my heart racing. I couldn't believe what had just happened. The man I married, the father of my children, had hit me. All the old memories came rushing back. I remembered the fear I felt as a child when my mom's husband, Frank, used to hurt us. I had promised myself I would never end up in that kind of situation again. Yet here I was. I'm not saying all men are the same, but this moment broke something inside me. It shattered my trust. It made me look at Adam in a way I never had before. I realized he was deeply insecure and that his idea of being a man meant having control, not showing love or respect. That thought made me feel both angry and afraid. I was scared. Scared of what he might do next if I upset him again. I didn't sleep that night. I stayed on the couch, thinking about what to do. My heart hurt, but my thoughts were clear. I knew I had to get out of this marriage, not just for me, but for my children too. They didn't deserve to grow up in a home filled with fear and shouting. Later that night, one of the twins began to cry. I checked the baby monitor to see what was going on. That's when it hit me. The baby monitor had been on during the fight. It had recorded everything. I had proof. As soon as I realized that, I saved the video from the monitor onto my computer. Watching it made my stomach turn, but it also gave me an idea. I now had something I could use to protect myself. I waited until morning. Adam and the kids were still asleep. I stepped into the other room and called the one person I trusted most, my dad. Good morning, Bunny, he said sleepily. You're calling early. Everything okay? No, Dad, I said softly. Something happened last night. I need your help. Are you safe? He asked quickly. What happened? Yes, for now, I replied. Adam slapped me. We had a fight. It got out of hand. There was silence on the line. Then I heard his voice, full of anger.
What?
He did what? Why didn't you call me right away? Tears filled my eyes. I needed time to think. But I'm ready now. I need to leave. I don't know what to do, Dad, I said with tears in my eyes. Sweetheart, he replied softly, remember what I've always told you. I'm here for you, no matter what. Anytime you need me, I'll be there. Well, this all happened in the twins' room. The baby monitor was on, and it recorded everything. Bingo, Dad said, sounding more serious now. That's our proof. We've got him. I know some people in law enforcement. Don't go anywhere. Just stay calm. Where is Adam now? He's still sleeping upstairs, I said quietly. Good, my dad replied. Send me that video right away. And get the kids ready. I'm coming to get you. I quickly woke up Laura and gently picked up the twins. My hands were shaking as I packed a bag with baby clothes, diapers, and a few of Laura's things. I forwarded the video to my dad and waited in the living room, nervous and anxious.
My heart was pounding.
Just 20 minutes later, there was loud, urgent knocking on the front door. It made me jump. As I walked toward it, I heard Adam walking down the stairs. Who's at the door? He asked, confused. Why are the babies down here? What's going on? Before I could answer, a voice shouted from outside, Open the door. It's the police. The police? Who called them? Adam said, now hurrying down the last steps. I opened the door. The first person to step inside was my dad. He walked straight up to me and gave me a tight hug. Thank God you're safe, he whispered. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Thank you for being here, Dad, I said, trying not to cry. Then a police officer stepped forward. Adam, he said firmly, you're under arrest for assaulting your wife. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be provided for you. Adam's face turned red. What? This is about last night? That was just a misunderstanding. The officer handcuffed him. Adam struggled and shouted, Get these off me. I swear, you'll pay for this. My dad stepped forward, his face full of anger. If you ever speak to my daughter like that again, I'll break your jaw. Consider yourself lucky the police got here before I did. Take him away, my dad told the officer. Later that day, my dad drove me and the kids to his house. Both Adam and I hired lawyers. There were many court hearings. During the trial, I found out Adam had a past. He had been in a bar fight years ago where the other person ended up in the hospital for a whole month. I never knew about it. The judge sentenced Adam to 4 months in jail. I filed for divorce, won full custody of the kids, and the court denied Adam any visitation rights. I had a lot to think about, but my dad offered me a new beginning. My dad looked at me with kind eyes and said, I'm retired now. If you'd like, the kids can stay here with me for a while until you figure things out. There's no pressure. Dad, that would mean so much to me, I said with a sigh of relief. I really need some time to get things sorted. He smiled and gently added, There's one more thing I want to tell you. I've met someone. Her name is Emma. She makes me really happy. I hope you won't mind, but I had already asked her to move in before all of this happened. I was going to tell you soon. I smiled back at him. Dad, that's wonderful. I'm happy for you. I don't mind at all. In fact, I'm glad you found someone who brings you joy.
Thank you, he said.
You can focus on returning to work, and Emma and I will help take care of the kids. That sounds perfect, I told him. Thank you for everything. 7 months have passed since the kids and I moved into my dad's house. So much has changed since that day. Adam was released from jail, but he never tried to reach out to me. He didn't call, didn't text, and didn't ask to see the kids. And honestly, I was glad. I didn't want him in our lives anymore. I went back to work and started picking up the pieces of my life. That's when I got to know Emma better. She's kind, warm, and full of wisdom. She has lived through a lot, and she always shares helpful advice. What surprised me most was how she gave me the kind of care and support I had never received from my own mother. Slowly, she started to fill that empty space in my heart. The kids are doing great. Laura has started preschool, and she loves it. She comes home every day with new songs, stories, and drawings. The twins are growing fast, learning to sit, crawl, and giggle at the smallest things. The house is always full of noise, laughter, and little messes, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Even though things are better, I still feel like I'm healing. What I went through with Adam left a scar. There are days when I feel strong, and other days when memories come back, and I feel unsure. But I remind myself that healing takes time. Right now, I'm just focusing on two things, my children and my work. I know I still have a long way to go, but being surrounded by love, especially from my dad, the kids, and even Emma, gives me strength. I may not have everything figured out yet, but I have hope. And that's enough for now. I know one step at a time, I'll find my way again.